Good morning. I'm Will Joyce, the mayor of Stillwater. Appreciate you joining us here today to talk about the current situation with wildfires here in Stillwater. First up today, I'm going to ask that our fire chief, Chief Essery, comes and gives you a bit of an overview of the situation we're facing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Terry Essery. I'm the Stillwater Fire Chief. And just as Mayor Joyce said, I'm just going to give you a high overview of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, about 1:20, we had multiple fires break out across the south and the southwest parts of Stillwater. The fire spread rapidly, and we had difficulty containing each and every one of them due to the high winds and the low humidity. With Stillwater Fire, Stillwater Emergency Management, Stillwater Police, LifeNet, Highway Patrol, Oklahoma State University, and multi-jurisdictional support from other communities to include Coyle, Glencoe, Perkins, Ingalls, Ponca City, Wagner County, Delaware County, and Sumner, we were able to attack the fires and do the very best we can with what we had. We again, like I said, due to the weather, especially the high winds and the heat and the humidity, low humidity, we were quickly overwhelmed due to the conditions. So we did the best we could with what we had. It's, to be honest with you, seeing your community on fire is a very unsettling thing, and is something a fire chief never wants to experience. But we, as a group, collectively, we went to work and we started doing the best we could for as many people as possible. So what we know now, we still have firefighters out there doing the work, hitting hot spots, trying to keep everything contained to the black area, to the burned areas. We're still having some flare-ups and some new fires start in the south and the southwest parts of town, and also around our response area. We had a few injuries reported. They were mainly due to smoke inhalation and dehydration, and they were treated and released. We anticipate that more than 50 homes and structures that were either impacted or lost. We expect that number to increase as we can fully assess our coverage area. We haven't been able to fully assess it because a lot of the fire we fought last night was dark. We're out there working on that now, and we'll continue to get those numbers. What we anticipate is more fires will ignite. We're not done with this yet. We're going to still have hot spots. We're going to have rekindles in the burn area. And this could continue for the next few days. So we're still out there working, and we're not done. It is imperative that our community members keep a close watch on their surroundings, their neighbors, their communities, and call 911 if they see a fire. Also, air quality is bad. Wildfires produce toxic smoke that causes respiratory issues, especially for vulnerable populations such as our elderly, our children, and those with pre-existing health conditions such as asthma and other respiratory conditions. So please take proper health precautions and be aware. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our city manager, Brady Moore, to share more information.
Thank you, Chief. Again, I want to start by just from the bottom of our heart, just letting those families that we're all very close to, they are our close friends. Our hearts are with them and what they're going through, and just driving through the scenes this morning and seeing some very close friends standing at the end of their driveways, wondering what's next. We want them to know that our city is with them, we're standing by them, and we are going to support them throughout this recovery process. I also want to just say thanks and for our first responders who worked tirelessly yesterday in some awful conditions, dangerous conditions, choosing to serve their community in their roles while their own houses took on flames. And so our hearts go out to our community, those that lost their homes, and also to our first responders who put their lives in serving the community in front of their own needs yesterday. And so we're grateful for that. Stillwater is a strong community. We know that. We are have a foundation on Stillwater strong, and I know that we're going to see that moving forward. We do want to just let residents know that as they go back into these neighborhoods, these are some unsafe conditions. We chose this morning to get our residents back in those areas so they could get to their homes and kind of assess the situations, support their neighbors, and but there are some conditions out there that they do need to be aware of. We are currently monitoring power lines that are close to coming down. We have emergency crews assessing those situations while waiting for OG&E to get to some of the major lines in your neighborhoods. Please be aware of that. If you see conditions like Chief Essery just mentioned, or conditions that need attention, please call 911. Our dispatchers are here, and our emergency management and our first responders are working throughout today and the days to come to make sure that the community is safe. To talk about the immediate needs, we're getting a ton of our great residents. What an amazing community we live in, and they are reaching out to all of us up here like crazy. How can we help? And I know everyone in this room is saying the same thing. How can we help? And we have a good plan in place, and I appreciate Vice Mayor Jalowski working with our local nonprofits to put together a plan for that. So I'm going to invite her to come up and speak now.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Jalowski, Stillwater Vice Mayor. As is mentioned, Stillwater is a community full of helping hands. And those helping hands, we've been working to focus them this morning. For those displaced by the fires, we've set up an email, stillwaterstrongrelief@gmail.com. Please email that email for any immediate needs for food, shelter, clothing, animals, or daily necessities. And we will resource those needs through the community and churches. This will allow us to really focus needs where they need to go for anyone that has an immediate need displaced by the fire. Secondly, for those wanting to donate to first responders and immediate community needs, the city has established a drop-off at the Stillwater Armory, located at 315 East 9th Street, for Saturday, March 15th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The drop-off location will accept bottled water, Gatorade, packaged food and snacks, and pet food. Community members impacted by the fires can pick up donations from the Armory location at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday, March 16th. Thirdly, we've had a tremendous amount of outreach of those wanting to make monetary donations. The Payne County United Way has set up a specific button for donations at their website, unitedwaypaynecounty.org. If you go to that website, there's a button for Stillwater Strong Relief. It's a donation button where you can make donations that will stay local here to Stillwater. We are also incredibly grateful to the Red Cross, who has been out last night and currently out providing water and food and supporting our shelters. And please remember that the Payne County Expo Center is our designated shelter for those who have lost their home and need a place to stay. Mayor, I'm going to send it back.
Thanks, Amy, and thanks to you and your team for putting together all of those efforts this morning. I just want to kind of wrap up this portion of the conference by saying thank you to so many people in the community. You know, when this kicked off yesterday, our kids were still in school. We had our partners at Stillwater Public Schools, Meridian Technology Center, Oklahoma State University, all working together to make sure that those kids were able to get home safe and students were able to get home safe. We've had just such great response from folks around the state. Governor Stitt this morning. Senator Hall is here. Senator Grellner was here this morning, and Representative Branson, who's also here. Thank them so much for their support and for the declaration. I know the governor's made an emergency declaration for this area, which we greatly appreciate. So many of our community partners who are here, Stillwater Medical Center, and the other county community organizations that are helping to step up. Stillwater is Stillwater strong, right? This community uses that hashtag and uses that terminology because it means something, and it means something to us as a community. Stillwater is strong, and we're strong because of the community cohesion and these groups that come together when we need to assist and support each other, and we are very grateful for that here at the City of Stillwater. With that, we'll open it up for questions.
We've heard mention of limited resources, just firefighting resources yesterday. Do we have a better understanding?
What the available resources would be?
Yeah, firefighting resources.
I'll probably turn that over to the chief or to Rob Hill.
Okay, and yeah, I can definitely speak to that. It's going to be day by day, depending what the other communities are facing. Of course, they were dealing with the same gusting winds up to 70 miles an hour as we were yesterday, so they had their own battles that they were fighting. And as soon as they got those battles under control, then they made sure and reached out to us and offered their services, and they came to our aid. And of course, we would do the same for them because it takes a community to fight these fires. Nobody has enough resources to fight fires when the wind is blowing 70 miles an hour. It just simply, it's an insurmountable task. So it's going to depend on the day. And as far as what today might look like, we're very hopeful that the wind is not going to be doing the same thing it did as yesterday. So we're going to be able to have a much fairer fight than we did. But still, Mother Nature's in charge of that. So it may be the same conditions. And if so, we're going to go to work and we're going to do the best we can. We're going to protect our community. And we're going to help, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
How many task forces?
We had 2 task forces. We had one from Wagner County, and then Rob, where was the other one from? Delaware County. We had 2.
How many homes are damaged until obviously that number?
Yeah, at this point, we don't know for sure. We're still surveying the area, and we're estimating around 50 to be impacted in some way. We expect that number to go up as we get a more accurate count.
You know how many people that translates to roughly? Families displaced?
It could be. It varies. That's a hard question for me to answer. I may pass that off to someone else if someone has a better answer for that. It's unclear. I don't want to give you bad information. I'm not sure.
We know numbers of total displays as of this morning, or how many got back out or needed overnight.
Rob, share what you stand
Yeah, Rob, I'm going to let you have this one.
So last night at the Payne County Fairgrounds, there were 115 persons that stayed at the shelter, but of the 115, they were from Yale, Cushing area, and some other locations, as well as Stillwater. And as of this morning, we successfully transported those people to their destinations of where they want to go. So there's nobody at the shelter currently.
Just as far as kind of what next, I know you guys are in the process of fighting fires or something, but as far as picking up pieces, is it too soon for that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to spend today and the next couple of days really assessing, where we are as a community and what the needs are, as we spoke about, having folks that can reach out and say, hey, this is what I need. These are several different neighborhoods. Families are going to have different needs in terms of what has happened to their homes. Many of them, unfortunately, are completely destroyed. Some of them are folks that weren't able to grab even a set of clothes before they left, and so they're going to have different needs than folks who maybe were able to get more stuff out. So we're gonna take stock of that and try to figure out what the community needs look like, and then our team will work together. Our community will work together to meet those needs.
As far as the Governor's Declaration of Emergency, how does that help you guys as far as resources and all that?
There are several resources that opens up for us. I think Rob could probably speak to some of the more specifics, but really at this point, it's a question of making that assessment of what we're going to need, right? What resources are we going to have? What are we going to have to go through and fix? And then having the declaration that we did, and then also the declaration from the county and from the state really just helps open up all the different possible resources to fix what we need to fix.
We know peak power outage or power issues today.
far as I know, everybody who can be turned on in Stillwater is on. And peak power outages, I think there were a couple thousand at one point. Anybody has a better number than that, let me know. But they're all back on if we can turn them on. Yes. So there are approximately 1,000 without power within CREC's coverage area, the Rural Electric Cooperative.
Do you need any volunteers to help relieve any of the firefighters or any responders as of right now?
As of right now, I'm unaware of any needs that we have. Our battalion chief is our incident commander, and he's the battalion chief on duty, so he's taking care of all of those operational needs. And so far, he hasn't reached out for any additional resources. But again, that could change in the next 10 minutes. And if so, we'll work with our mutual aid partners, and we'll also work through our emergency management, Rob Hill and his team, to get state assets.
That's a great question. I don't know if I can answer that right now. Anybody have a better answer for that?
Stillwater Strong Relief at gmail.com.
You're interested? Yeah, so the question was how to get in contact if you'd like to volunteer to help with cleanup. Stillwater Strong Relief at gmail.com is probably the best place to let us know that you're available to do that. Oh, sorry.
Do you mind just going back and just speaking again, touching on that high point about that with those needs? Those in case they missed.
Just the different resources that we have available.
Well, especially that Stillwater relief.
Yes. So again, just a reminder, we really want to be able to focus all the helping hands in our community. So if you are or have been displaced by the fires and have specific needs that we can help answer, the email to send those needs to is stillwaterstrongrelief@gmail.com. We can support resourcing. We'll work with all the nonprofits and churches that are standing by and ready to help to meet those needs as quickly as possible. Again, that could be food, shelter, clothing, animal care, and any other daily necessities that you might have.
A clarifying question from earlier, Chief Essery you spoke about injuries. You're talking about general population or firefighters?
That's a good question. I was actually speaking about our firefighters. And again, they've all been treated and released. And at this point, we're unaware of any civilian injuries or fatalities.
I'd like to add, with the unfortunate widespread, the distance between multiple neighborhoods on the west side of Stillwater that were affected by the fires, SPD, Stillwater Police Department, has taken extra precautions and will be doing extra patrol in those areas to make sure that they are safe and secure for those residents that lost their homes and for their neighbors. And so Stillwater Police Department will continue to patrol those areas in the coming days and weeks, and our firefighters are out there, of course, standing ready for any additional flare-ups. So we appreciate our first responders. Yes, thank you. As Rob reminded, I know there's a temptation to want to see the damage firsthand. Out of respect for those neighbors, we're asking that that residents that live in those neighborhoods are the ones that are in those neighborhoods right now. It was quite emotional this morning seeing neighbors hugging and crying with each other, and just having people drive through to just take pictures or whatever. I think if we could hold off on that and just allow our residents to lean on each other in their neighborhoods right now.
I got a question. As you guys all know, we had thousands of visitors in town for the Mid-South. Approximately, how were the communications, and kind of what time yesterday did you guys, kind of work with them to decide to cancel the?
Yeah, the Mid-South is, of course, one of our favorite events in Stillwater. So, Usually it's wind, snow, sub-freezing temperatures or 105-degree temperatures that affect that race. And unfortunately, now we got to add fires that ultimately had to cancel. Crystal and Bobby love our city. They support our first responders. And when they saw the impact that our first responders were having yesterday and today, and with the mayor's declaration of emergency, there was kind of no question that the event needed to be canceled. So we appreciate the community sponsors that are partners, the community partners that District Bicycles are, and of course, we love seeing them racing through our county roads and coming here to our community, and I think we'll just have that much of a stronger event next year. So. Oh, yes. We did dispatch crews this morning to any of the families that lost their homes, kind of wondering about the conditions. We sent our water crews first thing this morning at daylight to start turning off water. And I believe ONG was turning off gas last night to all those properties. But again, if those residents see something, observe those hazards, need something taken care of, call 911. We will dispatch our crews there.
Sorry, one more addition or clarification. We talked a little bit about folks who were staying in shelters last night. In addition to the county expo center shelter, there were several churches that opened their doors, several other places throughout town, I think, where folks were gathering, and so there were multiple different places that people were staying. I myself slept on the floor at University Heights Baptist Church last night. So, yeah, we really appreciate those community partners and certainly the churches in town who have made space available for folks.
Do you guys know if those are also empty?
What I didn't hand it.
The shelters beyond.
Oh yes, yeah, they're on too. Yes, I think once the neighborhoods open back up, now for folks who may not have a place to stay tonight, they will be available. Certainly, the Payne County shelter will be available for folks who need a place to stay tonight. All right. We thank you all for being here, and thank you for the support of the city of Stillwater, and appreciate your continued support for our recovery. Thank you.